Okay, so today we continue with our Kitzur Shulchan Aruch class. Today's class number 32. All right, so let's start with halakhic question. Yeah, go ahead.
So, for example, we know that someone is allowed to use someone else's talus, correct? They're allowed to borrow in the shul, right?
If that person does not mind.
Exactly.
So the rule is so basically people like to do mitzvahs. So other would do mitzvahs is their stuff.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we can infer, we can assume, correct? We can
assume unless we know otherwise. Correct.
Exactly. So let's say you know someone, let's say they went to the bathroom, then they left their pencil and you don't have a pencil, so you decide, listen, HaShem gave me the knowledge to write the second Mishnah Berurah or something. So when he's gone, I have enough time to write the Mishnah Berurah. And so, are you allowed to take his pencil or no? Because he doesn't get the lead back, he doesn't get the ink back, for example.
Mm-hmm. So usually all of this, I mean, if he's in the bathroom for a few minutes, so you're not going to use too much of his pencil.
Let's say even if he's gone for a day. Let's say he's gone for a day. He has to do some errands or something.
So I would say it depends on the person. So if he's a very particular, that's a big problem. So you're not allowed to use. But for a normal person, there is no problem. I mean, you wrote something. He's not going to finish this pencil in 10 years.
Understood.
So it depends on the person. So basically, the theft, the definition of the theft is if the owner does mind, you taking it.
But for example, like you said about the pencil, it's going to take someone a lot of years to finish it, right? But someone can have, I don't know, $1 billion, and he'll still mind if you take $1 million. Almost any person will mind if you take $1 million, but he's still going to take a lot of time to finish using that money, though.
No. But the price of the pencil is negligible. So it's very small. That's why people do not mind. But for example, I'll give you one example. If I don't mind, even if I don't mind that somebody would take my pencil, but if somebody is going to chew on my pencil and put it in his mouth, I do mind. Or scratch himself with that. I mind very much.
Understood. So one more thing. Let's say we know that if you regret doing a mitzvah, you don't get the mitzvah, correct? You don't get the reward.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So let's say that person he's not happy that you took his pencil, right? Now, he regrets that he left it, so on and so forth. Does he get the mitzvah for you using his ink or whatever, or no?
What is the mitzvah? That somebody's using my pencil?
The mitzvah is someone used your property to do a mitzvah.
And okay, so somebody used my property to do a mitzvah, and if I mind, I don't get the mitzvah. That's what you're saying?
Exactly. Do you still get the reward of the mitzvah if you mind, because you regretted putting the pencil down? You regretted that you let him have it.
I'm not sure if there is. Okay, so he did the mitzvah with my utensil. So basically, what reward do I get if somebody did the mitzvah with my utensil? Without my utensil, he would not be able to do a mitzvah.
Someone only has two choices. He's either happy because he gets the mitzvah, or he's sad that he lost the lead or ink, and so he forfeits the mitzvah. Now, I think any person, let's say any frum person, wouldn't mind losing a little bit of ink to get such a big mitzvah, or any mitzvah of Torah study, because let's say writing down Torah is still Torah study, and what did you do? You were gone for a day, and someone did 6 hours of Torah study for you. So someone could also infer that it's always allowed, because nobody would let go of such a mitzvah to study Torah for 6 hours a day for no worry.
I would say again, it depends who is writing. If it's a big rabbi, if it's no known scholar, that his Torah words or something, yes, I would say yes. There's no problem. So nobody will think that. But if some I don't know guy that did not write Torah thoughts, but draw a picture.
I would say you're right about, let's say, a guy or something like that, but for any religious person, now they might not like studying Torah, they might like being on their phone some more, but either way, they still understand Torah study is Torah study.
No, not everybody understands. I sent today to one of the groups. This HaShem back took back his millions, and somebody, religious guy, he said, "What is it now? A new propaganda?" That's what he said. So to say that everybody appreciate, I would not say. I would not bet on it too much.
Then I would say like this. Let's say not everybody appreciates Torah study, correct?
Yes. Okay.
But it would be okay if you took his pencil inside of shul or you took it inside of kollel. Why? Because if they appreciate a rabbinic mitzvah of going to shul, then 100% they're going to appreciate Torah study. So then it's okay to take their pencil.
People go to shul to kollel. I would say yes, but to shul because of they got used to. They go to socialize. But to kollel, I would say yes. So they would appreciate it.
Got it.
And so if you going to put it back and on the same place, and it's the pencil is as sharp as it was before, there is no problem. But if he brought a tip and now I have to go and find the sharpener, or he misplaced or he chewed on my pencil, so it's not. I'm not happy with that.
Understood. Let's say there's an area. Let's say there's a drawer, for example, and everybody puts their stuff in that drawer, but everything is very, very unorganized. Okay, and someone puts his pen in there. Let's just say. Now, you can't tell if who owns it or anything like that. Big drawer, you really don't know. You can search for it till fill-in bag, but you can't really know whose pen it is.
Correct.
At that point, would the pen be considered ownerless?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. Understood.
Unless it's like some very expensive pen, but otherwise it is. They're all the same.
Got it. Even if it's the only pen there, even if it's the only pen inside the drawer, let's say.
That's I mean, but still we don't know who it belongs to. Even if it's if it's a regular pen that you buy like few for $1, let's say. So I mean.
Now let's say someone has their initials on the pen and it says.
That's it. That changes the game. Yeah.
But let's say it says LS or something like that. Okay, and one can think, there are two people here with the initials LS. Both of them have both the same names. So is it considered ownerless or no?
No, it's not ownerless.
Not ownerless. Understood.
Because there are signs. We're going to get to it in a Kitzur. If there are signs that you can identify, you say that there is L a little crooked to this side, to left side, to right side, and S is like this, and there is a dot, but it's actually it looks like a comma. So yeah, it's not ownerless. Okay, so you want to start?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so we're on page 108. Somehow, there is a lot of background noise on your site. Maybe if you don't. Okay, but okay. So let's start. 108. 108.
Okay. Slander.
No. 108. It's without name.
One second. Okay. Yes. Correct. 1 second. Without names. All forms of Lashon Hara are prohibited, even when no names are mentioned, if it will be possible for people to determine who is being cussed. Furthermore, if names are omitted, but the story will reflect badly on an entire group of people, that may not be spoken. Speaking crudely about an unnamed student at a yeshiva is often taken as a statement about the entire student body, or as a reflection on a yeshiva student in general. This is the implication that reflects a multitude of Jews, right?
Okay, that's a good issue.
So I have this question. Let's say you say that there was let's say I don't know there was a Hasidic person down the block and he did that. Okay, now someone can think. Let's say you're saying to a person, and he says, "Oh, it's that Chabad rabbi." So now many Hasidic in the street. Okay, so does that count as Lashon Hara because he could identify the person?
Yeah.
But the only reason you could identify him is because of his own presumption, not because you actually gave some crazy clue or intended to give him a clue.
But it's a clue enough to generalize for him. So all of them are like that. This is not true.
But let's say someone even said, just a rabbi did this. Okay, let's say something bad, but ordinary. Okay, now let's say that person says, oh, it's that rabbi. Now all you said was 100 rabbis, 200 rabbis in the neighborhood. Now the only reason he thought of that was because of his own presumption. Is it still lashon hara because you said a rabbi?
You see that the lashon hara is a negative speech. So with this negative speech, this person would think on this rabbi or another rabbi. Does not make any. He going to suspect this one or that one or all of them together. So it would be forbidden.
Understood. Okay, got it.
All right. So let's start. So we continue with laws of mezuzah. Sima number 11, even CF number 16. So it says the gatehouse, which is a small house built adjacent to the gate of a courtyard, in which a watchman sits, and a balcony, though through which one ascends to the upper floor. Balcony, television, stuff. And a garden, and a pen for animals are exempt from the requirement of mezuzah, since they are not made to be used for a residence. Okay, so one more time, this balcony. Yeah, go ahead.
Since, let's say, for example, you said a farm, correct?
A what?
Like a farm where one can.
Yeah, barn,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But an animal, it's your property. Can't it be considered storage?
Like a storage of your properties. Yeah, just 1 second. Seats. In the upper floor, the garden, and the pen for animals, exempt from requirement of mezuzah, since they are not made to be used as a residence. So the storage, like when you say storage, let's say you have this barrel of the wine, or some boxes you have, right? So technically, you can put your bed and sleep there. But with your horses or sheep, the person is not going to sleep. So it's abnormal circumstances. You understand? That's why they don't call it residence or this gatehouse. So gatehouse, it's like for security guard, right? That basically.
Let's say this though. Let's say a barn, usually because animals need to eat, right? Let's say there's a cow. Cows need hay, for example, right? So someone can sleep on hay. It's possible.
But sleep and recite, it's two different things. So sometimes when it's nice outside and it's a safe neighborhood, you can go to your balcony or your terrace and you can sleep on the terrace.
Now,
but you don't live there. You just sleep there for like a few nights a week, a year.
Got it. So for a place where you keep storage, does one need to put, if one sleeps there for 1 day, since let's say it's been his storage for a month, okay? Now, it's not considered his residence, correct? It's not considered his permanent residence, right?
But he can sleep there. He can use it for residence. So if he takes all of the boxes out, let's say when he sold all the merchandise, and he has the whole family, he has a wedding in his family, but he needs more room, so he can sleep there. He can sweep and put 10 people in that room.
I completely understand, but either way, it's not considered a permanent residence, right?
It's not permanent, but it is a place suitable to be a resident.
Now,
so it's your boxes.
The reason I ask is because the question is like this. Now, let's say it's only been used as storage. If someone sleeps there for 1 day, is it considered a permanent residence, or does
no.
Only after 30, always after 30?
Only after 30 days, but we said here all of the places that's suitable for residents. But technically, as I said, I mean, somebody came over. Big family came over, and they need a place to stay. So basically, you can move these boxes out to I don't know to your garage and give them that room. There's no problem because it's room. It has heat. It has light. It has whatever is there. It's
So
not big, so you can live there.
When you say storage, you mean storage as in the storage is able to be used as a permanent residence. What is in the storage? For example, let's say the storage had a bed. Let's say then you have to put a mezuzah. But let's say the storage is just a bucket. I don't know. Then you don't have to put a mezuzah, right?
No, but because of the size. But storage, it put this separate building, and you have these boxes and car parts, whatever you have in there. Mm-hmm. Technically, it's common thing. Like today, they take all of the storages around like all part of the Brooklyn, and they convert it to condominiums. Right? They just add that facilities, the electric cable, that's the drain and all of the plumbing, and that's it. You can live there. So it's no longer storage. It's not. And in olden days, it was when they didn't have plumbing, indoor plumbing, right? But they didn't have electricity, so it was easy conversion.
Understood. Now this question is a little off topic. It's still about mezuzah. So let's say a Talmid Chacham, it's set if someone else can do a mitzvah, he doesn't have to go away from his Torah study, correct?
Okay. Yes. Uh-huh.
Yes. The question goes like this. I know someone like the Rambam paskins that he's not allowed to ask for charity for his livelihood, correct?
The Talmid Chacham? Okay, yes. Yeah.
So, let's say, is he allowed to ask, is he allowed to get someone to donate for his mezuzah, for a mitzvah, for that type of mitzvah?
So people can donate whatever they want. Donation is like a gift. You can accept gifts all day round.
Exactly. The Rambam says you're not allowed to accept gifts from others as your livelihood. No?
I think, okay, so that's what he said. It is true. We don't pass him like Rambam in this case. Mm-hmm. Right? So we say that...
What would the Rambam paskin in this case that I'm talking about? Would someone be allowed to pay for his mezuzah or no?
He can pay for his mezuzah, but you can always accept gifts. Somebody wants to give you a gift. Okay. So somebody came over to your house and he brought you a box of chocolates. It's not like you're hungry. You understand? So he wants to give you a gift. Maybe you have 6 boxes of chocolate. He brought you a watermelon. You have 2 watermelons in your refrigerator. You don't need the watermelon. You have money. Yeah, you understand? But he can give you a gift. There is no contradiction.
Yeah, I understand. But let's say with someone like, I think the Rambam would allow that. He just won't allow money because money can be used for one's livelihood. Now, chocolates, you're not going to really use them for one's actual livelihood. Okay. So in this case, is one allowed to use the hashkafa? Let's say he could pay for the mezuzah, right? But and the mezuzah is his mitzvah, 100% his mitzvah. But Talmid Chacham thinks, even though he's a Talmid Chacham, thinks, listen, I'm a big rabbi. I don't have to go away and do this mitzvah, even though it's a personal mitzvah, because someone's going to pay for it and someone's going to put a mezuzah on for me. Is that allowed or no? To think like that.
The thing like if somebody should get him a mezuzah?
Yeah, someone's going to...
Yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah, someone's going to do it for me. Even though it's my personal mitzvah, someone can do it for me.
Okay, so the mitzvah is to attach mezuzah to your doorpost. So you can always assign somebody as your shliach, as somebody who's working here for you. Right? As your messenger. Messenger is the right word. So the shliach / messenger can do many things for you. And it's counted like you did. I mean, not all of the rabbis know how to use hammer or how to use drill and to screw in this mezuzah. Not everybody. So they would pay somebody, or somebody would like do it for free. I did many mezuzahs in my life, right? For elderly ladies, somebody somebody do not know. Even men, not every man know how how to handle the drill.
But I would say there's a small difference. Over here in the example of what you're saying, the shliach, the rabbi who, let's say, he doesn't know how to put on a mezuzah, he exerts effort because he can't do it by himself. He needs someone else to do it. In my scenario, I'm saying there's a rabbi, he simply doesn't put in any effort.
Oh, no. Okay. I apologize. So I probably missed that part. So if he thinks that somebody is going to do it for him, that's absolutely wrong. No.
Understood.
But his effort is to find somebody who is going to do it for him, and then it's going to count his mitzvahs.
Got it. Understood.
Okay, so
last question. Let's say someone puts, let's say someone else puts a door. You put absolutely no effort. You didn't even know this person was coming to your house, and he puts a mezuzah on your doorpost. Okay. Now, is there an argument that you still get a part of his mitzvah for putting on the mezuzah, because he wouldn't be able to put on a mezuzah in the first place if you didn't have a doorpost?
Could you repeat this question again?
Okay. Now,
I got so somebody came and I did not know, and he put out mezuzah. Okay, continue from here.
You put in absolutely no effort, and so I'm saying, and so does that person get the reward of the mitzvah, because the person who put it on wouldn't be able to put it on if he didn't have a doorpost in the first place. The only reason he had a doorpost was because of that person.
On your question, so basically, let me answer maybe the different answer from what you're asking. So this guy who had this mezuzah installed by somebody else, he's not getting mitzvah for installing mezuzah, but he's getting protection from mezuzah, like side effects. So for example, you move into new apartment, and there were mezuzahs there, the Jewish owner. So are you getting the mitzvah of installing mezuzah? Absolutely not. But you have mezuzahs.
I'm saying, let's say there's a rich person, right? Then there's someone who wants to put a mezuzah on his house, and the rich person is like, listen, I don't care if you put on a mezuzah, if you want to put on a mezuzah. I'm saying, does he get the direct reward of the mitzvah, since that person who put on the mezuzah, he couldn't put on the mezuzah in the first place if there was no doorpost. The only reason he was able to put on the mezuzah was because that person had the doorpost. So he has to get some reward in the direct mitzvah.
Because of the doorpost?
Yes, because it's his doorpost.
I think it's the stretching too far. No. He's not getting.
Now, what I would say, is, let's say, okay, I'll give you another example. Let's say there's a guy, he owns a Torah book, right? Now, he bought it, let's say, 5 years ago. He doesn't even know it's a Torah book. He thinks it's something, something else, let's just say.
Okay. Yeah.
He thinks it's a diary. Yeah. And let's say there's a Jew. He sees this book. He reads it. Does that person get the mitzvah? Does the guy get the mitzvah? So, at least some of the mitzvah, because he still bought the book.
But there is no mitzvah in buying the book.
There's no. Okay, I understand. There's no mitzvah in buying the book. But for example, when one, let's say there's a Rosh Yeshiva and he buys books for his for the library of his kollel or something like that, right?
Okay. Yeah.
He still gets the mitzvah because it's his books that they're using.
Okay.
Exactly. So I'm saying, does the same thing apply here to the guy? The guy gets the reward of the mitzvah, at least some of it.
So and this guy gives the book to a Jew to read?
Yeah, let's say he's like, he doesn't even know it's a Torah book or anything like that. He still says, listen, if you want, you can read it.
Okay, yes, he's getting some reward, absolutely. Because of him, this Jew can study Torah, absolutely.
Exactly. So I can say the exact same thing in the thing about the mezuzah. Because of him, because he bought the doorpost, because he bought the door, now he can put on a mezuzah. There are two parts to the mitzvah of Torah study.
No. It's not the same. Here. I mean, you cannot compare it to examples. Here is a book. It's a direct benefit. So one gives explicitly to another. But in that case, as I understand from your example, the rich man is not aware what's going on. He has just a door without mezuzah. So another guy comes and hangs the mezuzah.
Now,
so it's not one-to-one. Yeah.
In the second example of the rich person, he is aware that the person is going to put on the mezuzah, but he says, "Listen, I don't care if you put on the mezuzah. If you don't put on the mezuzah." Now, does he still get some reward? No. Not at all. Understood. Got it.
So basically, if somebody said, "I do not care," it's like it's disrespect to the mitzvah. And somebody did mitzvah for him, how can he get the reward? Not fair. Okay. So let's continue. So we say. So let's read this piece again. The gatehouse, we said, where security guard sits, which is a small house built adjacent to the gate of the courtyard, in which the watchman sits, and a balcony through which one ascends to the upper floor. Okay, and a garden, and a pen of animals. So garden meaning that garden can be surrounded by a fence, right? And it could be a door, like with a door post and stuff like that. So yeah, but you don't put mezuzah there. A garden and a pen for animals are exempt from the requirement of mezuzah. Okay, since they are not made to be used for a residence. Okay, as we said. However, if there is a house or a room that does require mezuzah, that is open to one of the above, meaning the house is open to this this balcony above, or to a pavilion. Pavilion, we said the definition of pavilion is like large area, and one side is open, or walls do not reach all the way to the ceiling. That's pavilion. Okay, 1 second. Or a pavilion, comment in. There is to a pavilion that would otherwise not require mezuzah. See previous year. Okay. So, but if your house is leading to the balcony, really to this pavilion, or to I don't want to say that to the animal. Even in olden days, I think the animal pens were adjacent to the house, so he would put this mezuzah, but not because of the second room, the balcony or animal pen, but because of this room that I coming from. So continue. Then they require mezuzah, even on those entrances through which people enter from a public domain. Okay, so basically what it says, that if he goes, there's some kind of, I don't know, like I'm thinking about the example, but I cannot imagine like any good examples. Like there's some kind of pavilion, so you cross it and then you go into the house. So in this case, you would need mezuzah, but I would say this mezuzah is for the house. It's not for this. It's like the first entrance to the house. That's the way I see it. Okay. So continue. Therefore, the gates of the courtyard, and the gates to the street, and the gates of the provinces and cities all require mezuzah. Since the houses or rooms that do not require mezuzah open onto them. So we're going to let's read it again, but I think we said it before. I mean, it was similar idea. So one more time. Therefore, the gates of the courtyard. So all of the gates of the courtyard, they required mezuzah, and the gates of the streets So there is some streets. I think Miyasharim, there's some gates in there, right? So the streets and the gates of the province and the cities all required mezuzah, since the houses and the rooms that do require mezuzah open onto them. But I would say for me it's easier to understand opposite way, like because this house requires mezuzah, so you put mezuzah on the entrance and you go through the thing into your house. That's why you have mezuzah in the house. Okay, but gates of the courtyard. So okay, gates of the province, the city. So they all require mezuzah. Okay. Continue. The above halakha applies even to 10 houses or a room, each of which open to the next. Mm-hmm. Even if the 9 outer rooms are exempt from the requirement of the mezuzah. If the innermost room requires mezuzah, then all of the rooms require mezuzah. Therefore, the gate that opens into the garden, into the courtyard, requires mezuzah. Okay, so let's read again and try to explain. So there is I just thought about it, like all of these rooms that open to one another. That's what we had, I think, in the base of Mikdash, surrounding the base of Mikdash building itself. There was a like special storage room, and it was the way I understand it's like 2 or 3 floors. I think 3 floors, and all of them were connected through the door, right? I'm not sure if there were doors or they were open spaces without the door, but it was separate rooms, and you could go like on floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, from one room to another through them. So in this case, you would require mezuzahs on all of these doors. Okay, so one more time. One second. The above halakha applies even to 10 houses or rooms. So meaning these 10 houses are attached, and somehow you can go through one to another. Right? Each of which are open to the next. Okay. Even if the 9 outer rooms, I would say that sometimes I think I have a good example. So in the hotels, so many times you have your hotel room, and between the 2 rooms you have a door. Why? Because somebody can buy two rooms, and they can open the door and they can share. So many people be like in one big room. So basically, since this door were created to build to open, they can combine, even not combine. Even you can go from one to another. So you would need mezuzahs on all of these doors. I didn't see this in Israel, but for sure I saw it many times in America. Okay. So one more time. Even if the 9 outer rooms exempt from requirement of mezuzah, exempt in my understanding, it's like maybe a smaller room, not big enough. If the innermost room require mezuzah, then all of the rooms require mezuzah. Meaning that you're trying to get there to that innermost room. Therefore, the gate that opens from the garden into the courtyard requires mezuzah. Okay, so see Rambam. Rambam in Hilchas Mezuzah 6:8. Although the gate would not require mezuzah in its capacity as an entrance to the garden, right? As we said before, since it leads to the courtyard. So to the garden you would not need, but to courtyard you would need. Since it leads to the courtyard, which in turn leads to the house. So it's one leads to another. Like so, courtyard leads to the house. Leads to the house that requires mezuzah. So it too requires mezuzah. So this so from the garden you go to the courtyard to the house. So on the gates of the courtyard, you would put mezuzah, and of course in the doors of the house you would put. Okay. So continue after 43. However, some say that a gatehouse and a balcony require mezuzah. So that's why, for example, I did put, but without blessing, because it's like a questionable. Of their own accord, even if there is no house or room open to them. House or room open to them. So the way I understand this balcony, there is like the way I see it, it's like maybe it's not a balcony or some kind of porch. So you go up the stairs, let's say 5 stairs, 3 stairs. You go to this balcony, to this slash porch, and then from there is another stairs leading up, let's say up to the next doors, then next story. So in this case, they say that some people, some rabbis say that, I mean, if there is a doorpost, of course, if there is no doorpost, you don't put. But if there is a doorpost, even this balcony itself is not leading to any room, right? But some rabbis say that put mezuzah. Okay. Since there is a doubt as to whether they require to have mezuzah, one should affix mezuzah without reciting the blessing. Okay, so let me check time. Okay, so we have a few minutes. All right. Maybe we do one more. Number 17. A bathhouse, a tannery, and a house for ritual immersion are exempt from the requirement of the mezuzah because they are not made to be houses for dignified residents. So same with animal pens when animals go like to the bathroom, so it's not dignified. Okay. So one more time, a bathhouse and a tannery, commentary. The building where the animal skins are processed to make leather, which usually has a full odor. I mean that they use this dog feces and other chemicals, so it smells terrible. Okay. And the house of the ritual immersion, so it's like mikveh, right, are exempt from the requirements of the mezuzah because they are not made to be used for the dignified residence. Commentary. Any room that requires mezuzah must be similar to function to a house. So that's I think the definition, right? As the verse states, you shall write them on the doorposts of your house. So this mikveh is not like my house, right? This excludes those rooms that are not made for a dignified function. For example, the bathhouse or the house of the immersion, right? Because their central function involves a state of undress instead of undress. And a tannery because the full odor is generated. So it's immodesty or for odor. So basically in these places we cannot pray. So maybe we can use look from this perspective also. So you cannot pray and you're not allowed to pray to put mezuzah. It is for this reason that the entrance of the bathroom does not require mezuzah. Continue. However, a cattle barn and a room where chicken are raised, and a storehouse of straw or wood, and a storerooms of wine or other drinks, if they have the requisite minimum measurements of the house, 4 amos by 4 amos, they require mezuzah. However, some authorities maintain that they're exempt. So why is it exempt? So it says, see above note 34. A room is considered to be inhabited if it is used on constant basis, even if it is used primarily for storage. Okay, so two things as we discussed today. So one thing that even if it's not like suitable for a person to live there, but he decided I'm going to stay there, like for 30 days. So after the 30 days, he would require, or if he decided that I'm going to stay here 2 months, so he's required to put a mezuzah. Right? And they say this, all of these examples. A cattle barn, room in which chickens are raised. So chicken, they're very smelly. I'm not sure why is that. And the storehouses of straw or wood. Okay, storehouse of straw or wood, of course, as we said before, if you need room for a guest, so you can move it outside or, I don't know, to another place, there's no problem. A storehouse of wine or other drinks, that's for sure. If they have a required minimum measurement of the house, 4 amas by 4 amas, they require mezuzah. Okay. However, some authorities maintain that they're exempt. Okay, an exempt commentary. According to this opinion, Rambam Hilchas Mezuzah 6:7, a room does not require mezuzah if it is used only for storage. Okay. So Rambam said not required. Right, so it's long halacha. I have next class. So let's stop here. So if you have any like short question, I can answer.
Short? Not really. Till next
No,
time.
maybe I have 2 minutes. I have 2 minutes.
Okay. So remember that. Okay. What I said about the parsha with the Ben Ish Chai thing, I'll re-say it. So basically, yes, Korach, he got all the people to start mocking Moshe. How did he do it? He said, "We all deserve. We all deserve prophecy. We don't need a leader, right?"
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I said, Ben Ish Chai said there's a lot. Ben Ish Chai said in Perkei Avot. I used it over here. It says that that in the Devarim, Parak 24, Pasuk 15, I'm pretty sure it says you have to pay the worker the wages on that day or something like that. And you can't do that with an eternal mitzvah because, this world is not eternal. You have to give the world a reward in Olam Haba. So how do we get through this? How do we reconcile this? Because the halacha is that when you hire someone through a shliach, you don't have to pay the wages on that day. That's the halacha. Now, the question is this. Okay, we understand how the Bnei Israel was paid for the mitzvah. We understand how they were paid in Olam Haba. But what about Moshe? How was Moshe paid? Because who was the shliach for Moshe?
One second. Who was the shliach for Moshe?
Yes, we understand how Bnei Israel was paid. Why they were allowed to be paid in Olam Haba and not in this world. Even
What's wrong with Moshe? He did his mitzvah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that HaShem has to follow his own pasuk. This pasuk says, pay the wage of the worker on that day. Now, we understand that a mitzvah is eternal. We can't get the reward in this world, only in the next world. So HaShem reconciled this by sending a shliach. Through a shliach, you can give the reward at a different time, correct?
Okay, all right.
Okay. But Moshe, correct, he did the mitzvahs. He deserves reward. I'm saying, who was his shliach? Because the only way his reward can be eternal is if it's an Olam Haba. The only way he can get his reward in Olam Haba instead of right now is if there's a shliach, something like a shliach. So how did Moshe get his reward?
I'm trying to follow the question. So I mean, I don't understand the question. So let me tell the situation the way I understand. Okay, so they get in the reward. Everybody is getting the reward.
Yes, correct.
Okay, there's no doubt about it. So with the shliach part, I mean, shliach is only like. No, it's not only for physical. Yeah, you can have a shliach for a mitzvah, so, but it's different things. Even if you have somebody shliach, you see, shliach for the physical things and shliach for a mitzvah, it's 2 separate things.
I'm not telling you what I'm saying. Right now, what I'm saying is completely from the Ben Ish Chai. So we're going off of the Ben Ish Chai. The Ben Ish Chai says you're right about the mitzvah, but the wage has to be given on that day according to that pasuk in Devarim. Now, the only way they're not given that reward in this world is because a shliach, if there's a shliach, the boss.
Yes.
Exactly. So the point is, Moshe, who paid Moshe then? How is Moshe paid? Because Moshe also has to be paid in Olam Haba, not in this world.
I don't know. Try. Can if you make a photocopies of this page of Ben Ishchai so I can read it.
Understand.
I gotta go. Sorry.
No problem.
Good night until tomorrow. Thank you.
אני מברך את הרבנים, רגע. אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בישועות ליבם לטובה ולברכה, שבכל מה שיפנו ישכילו ויצליחו, יזכרו לעשות כאלה וכאלה, הודיעו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה. איפה הוא גר? בפלורידה.
פלורידה, איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה.
במיימי. כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית.
חזק אותו בשמי.
קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תעבירו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה.